Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Tonight, Strategy Saturday. I figured I would actually have a look at a new game as well. So, this is currently on Kickstarter. This is Nemo's War, a very good solo game by all accounts. It is new to me though. I don't believe this actually includes the expansion that is on Kickstarter currently. But there's going to be more than enough for us to jump into anyway. There's a very meaty game here, so I'll give it a play and we'll see how we get on. This might be a slightly truncated game, depending on quite how complicated things seem to get. But we'll flow through and see how things go. I did play around a little with the setup previously, and it says we should use Explore for our very first game. So a few things are done with this. We can decide to buy the hydro drive. If we do, we just put it in front of us. So we will take it and click begin game. I will be doing this on the very easy mode. Hopefully, if this is as good a game as everyone makes out, we will be coming back to it a couple of times. You know me, I do like to try and give a game a good few plays, because I think that's the best way to really get a feel for if you like a game. And I mean that as somebody who watches videos on the internet when I'm trying to gauge which games I want to buy. So I like to try and see various different routes and strategies to a game. If it's too much the same every time, it's possibly not something I'm going to keep wanting to come back to. But as we saw, we have 4 different types of play mode. Our motive. We've gone for Explore, and this affects our endgame points. So warships sunk actually lose us points. Non-warships are nothing. Adventure cards aren't anything. Treasure gets us a point. Liberation, science, and wonders seen though are worth a lot. And this varies depending on your motive, which really I guess changes how you're going to want to approach the game. On the, what do they call it? Sailor difficulty? Yes, on the sailor difficulty we don't expend any resources in order to claim this first upgrade. It would normally cost us 3 of our resources, and we'd just lower whichever one we want, 1 to 3 until we've spent enough. So we could do something like this, for example, in order to pay for it. 1 from Nemo's resource and 2 from our crew resource. But for our very first game, we're going to start on easy, which gives us an extra action point as well. And do begin game. I believe that just deals out the correct stacks based on the fact we've gone for this motive. We have an upgrade deck. To decrease notoriety. So we've got a lot of military based upgrades, it would appear. Better armour, so it's harder for warships to hit us. Fewer notoriety when you sink a ship. Remove notoriety. I suppose that's always useful. And +1 DRM. So probably the fog machine is the one most useful for us, as the motive Explore gives us negative points. And I believe it has the earliest fail. Got the fail condition here for 36. Oh no, science is very early. So this would just be a defeat if our notoriety were to increase high enough. Okay, so it has set out the first ships for us. That's good. I believe we just will roll 1d6 for our starting ocean location, and we are good to go. That's one of the problems with an automated setup process on Tabletop Simulator. If you don't actually know all of the setup, you don't really know what you've missed. There's no little... Oh, I was going to say there's no little note telling me, but place all cards in the pass-fail piles. I think this is just scoreboard, yeah. Just scoreboard instructions, nothing else. Okay, that's just co-op. I think it's primarily a solo game, but it has that co-op function as well. So, game setup. The Nemo motive tile, recommended explore, yes. Draw pile and adventure deck is made up over here. Ooh. As done, so we can skip all that. Difficulty, we've gone sailor. We need 2 treasure available gems here. So it just makes this first adventure card even better for us. And we've got the hydro drive, yes, as our first free one. Sailor, yes, we get that upgrade for free. Ship draw pool, 30 white, 14 pale. Yep, that's 44 ships, that's correct. 2 black, 4 dark yellow, 4 orange, 7 red ships face up. Okay, yep, that's these. And the blue and green on their notoriety spots, yes. Move the ships because we're on easy mode. Place 1 hidden ship token, dun 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 dun. Sailor, set up 1 fewer in Western Pacific, Northern Atlantic and European seas. So we can put these tokens back. I believe these tokens are all just, yeah, it's just to say there is a ship there but you don't know what it is. And when you choose to attack it, if you want to attack it, you'll replace it with a ship from the draw bag. Treasure tokens are going to be here, yep. Notoriety on 0. 1 treasure available gemstone, but actually it told us to place 2 more on there. Yeah, this is the adventure deck, and it refers to on top of the adventure deck, and this one over here is called Draw Pile, but they both have cards which say Adventures on them. They're both made from the same cards, but it's random which is in each pile. Definitions. Yep. That's fine. Fairly chunky rulebook, lots of combat. Game ends. When you reach the last space, yep, defeat, defeat, defeat. If your notoriety reaches the threshold, every ocean is completely full of ship tokens, whether they're revealed or not. Or we do the finale card, which is one of the adventures. Hey Chalk, how you doing? Good weekend so far? Defeat, victory and scoring. I think we need to score like 200 odd points, I think I remember reading somewhere. Once you've determined all your points, and based on your motive here, all the bonus points. Yeah, you're defeated, a failure, inconsequential. So yeah, 220. I mean, defeat and failure. Failure sounds like it's also defeat. But you've got 2 levels of defeated. But that will make sense in the storybook. Okay, that's interesting. Deadly Seas. I'm not sure if it's using the Deadly Seas in this. Okay. We're pretty much set up. And we roll 1d6. Got a 5. We will place the Nautilus in European seas. You're good? How's my day been? Yeah, it's been pretty good. Just spent the day, or a fair portion of it, tending the garden, raking up all the leaves. It's the first time I've done it, so I waited till literally every leaf had fallen off the big trees at the end of the garden and raked them all up in one fell swoop, which took a lot longer than I was expecting. But at least it's done and out the way, and then just the odd job around the house. It felt good. It felt good to get a few bits done before work starts back up again next week. There's a reference here, isn't there? Turn sequence, yeah. So we reveal the top event. The facts relating to this apparition, entered in various logbooks, agreed in most respects as to the shape of the object or creature in question, the untiring rapidity of its movements, its surprising power of locomotion, and the peculiar life with which it seemed endowed. If it was a whale, it surpassed in size all those hitherto classified in science. So this tells us, roll a die and place the Nautilus in the corresponding major ocean, commence play with the next card, and roll only 2 white dice to begin each placement phase. So that's where I'd remembered reading about rolling a die for our placement. So we start in the underwater forest. Captain Nemo invites Professor Aronnax on a hunting trip that will take place tomorrow morning in his Crespo Island forests. So we need to roll a test. As you can see up here, we require a 9, rolling 2d6. The N and C in the brackets here relate to a resource you can exert. So you'll notice after our current level, if we exert it, we're basically gambling it. We gain a plus on the test. So we'd be rolling 2d6 needing a 9, but we have a +2, making it easier. But if we do fail the test, not only do we hit the fail, in which case, in this case, it is no penalty, but there might be a long penalty here anyway. But you also then have to lower that resource. So it's either Nemo himself becoming somewhat more unstable until he's finally emotionally broken, the crew getting tired out, or actual damage to the hull of the ship until it's destroyed. So it's a gamble. If you pass, it just goes straight back up. If you fail, you have taken some damage. So we'd collect 2 treasures, which, given our adventure type, they are worth a point to us. So it feels like this is a test worth trying to undertake. A 9 when we can expend both Nemo and the crew. We could get a +5. We'd only need a 4. That means there's 3 out of 36 potential die rolls that would fail it for us. So 1 in 12 chance of failure. Feels like it's a gamble worth taking. Don't believe we have any other bonuses. Hydro Drive, each time you perform a move action, you can move 2 consecutive oceans. That's definitely not it. We've got a couple of officers. I've not looked at these. Presumably, once they're used, you flip them or something. And these are one-time bonuses during the game. Let's give it a try. Let's go in brave. We're going to gamble both Nemo and the crew. We could use one, other, or both. One, other, neither, or both of these. And we're going to gamble with both. So we need to roll 2d6. We rolled a 7 in total. Plus the 5, we got 12. So we can keep these resources. This will go into the pass section, which hopefully... Yeah, updates our scoreboard. And we get 2 gems. So I believe with those gems, we just go straight... Oh, the rulebook's up here, isn't it? We just go straight into the treasure token bag. But let's make sure. Ah, here we go. Character resources. You have 6 resources called characters that can be sacrificed. These include the 3 captives aboard. In addition, the officers. Okay, it doesn't tell me what I do to sacrifice them, but yes, definitely sounds like it's a one-time use. Exert is to gamble. Actions. Come on, just show me that symbol so I can determine whether I just take a gem. Okay, it doesn't say as far as I can see. Repair, refit. It's got to be a little reference chart for what the icons mean. That's going to be a glaringly obvious thing, I'm sure, when I notice it. Apologies for this. Not the most exciting thing to watch a man read a rulebook. Just want to make sure it's not just picking up the gems, but actually collecting the tokens which are in this bag. Action phase. Adventure. Spend 2 action points or 1 during a long turn. Draw the top adventure card. You may perform the card's activity and afterwards collect 1 treasure token, which has that diamond symbol, for each treasure available gemstone. So that is the same symbol as on this card. So this talks about the treasure tokens, so I feel pretty confident I'm not cheating by just directly taking these tokens. So we can claim 1, 2, and we've got the Lost Mine City and 1 which is to remove for 1 action or keep it as 2 treasures. So the Lost Mine City is perfect for us because I believe that is just a straight up 7 points. So if I leave these treasures here and click update, let's just check. See, oh, it's telling me I've seen 2 wonders. I'm not sure where it's scoring those from. But it has just updated with another one. So yes, the Lost Mine City was a very good first draw for treasure. We've passed the test, so it goes into the pass section of the folder just here. Any failed tests will sit just down here. And then we go on to the placement phase. So we roll dice, shown on the current act, which is 2 white dice. So we roll this. We rolled a 6 and a 3. So we have a standard turn because we didn't roll a double. So we're going to place ship tokens. And we'll place them in the oceans 6 and 3. So 1 goes in the North Pacific and 1 goes in the Indian Ocean. And then use the differential roll to determine the number of action points we receive. So the number of actions you can take is the difference between the 2 dice. So we get 3 action points. 1, 2, 3. So we've actually got the maximum number of actions this round. So this is the one part of the game I'm a little bit hesitant about. If you happen to roll like a 2 and a 3, then a 3 and a 4, 4 and a 5, back to a 1 and a 2, you're only ever going to get 1 action every round. And this deck of cards is your timer for the game, so you could, just by poor luck as to where you place these ships, get no actions, or you might always get a fair few actions. So, I mean, over 25-ish rounds, I think, something like that. It's probably gonna balance out, but you can see it maybe being more of an issue if it was only an 8-round game. So we can take actions. What we can spend our actions on are these: search, rest, repair, refit, or insight. Adventure. Yeah, here it's got all of them. So some will cost 2, a rest or repair costs 2. But if it's a lull turn, actually anything that costs 2 is only 1 on a lull. We don't really want to attack, because we actually lose points if we attack a warship. But the best way of getting upgrades is to attack. But I think, considering there's 3 treasures here, it's probably worth doing an adventure. We are going to have to attack some eventually, because if all these zones are full, then we do fail. So maybe we'll start by doing an adventure and then attack. Search, we would lose points based on how many revealed ships. So if we would want to search before we potentially attack someone, if we see a warship, we probably wouldn't want to attack them. We can just kill some merchants. Yeah. I think there is a treasure in the European Sea. So if we adventure... No, it wasn't adventure, it was... Search. Insight, move, rest, repair, refit, search. Spend 1 action point, perform a search test. After collecting treasure at the ocean, remove its treasure gemstone, returning it to the stock. Treasure available could be replenished later during a lull turn. Yeah, so let's try and take this treasure. So a search is 1. So we spend 1 action point. And we can exert any 1 ship resource. Yeah. Yeah, we can only exert 1. So actually, Nemo improves as he gets worse, as he gets a little more stressed. Maybe it wouldn't be too bad to risk Nemo, but it's only a +2. If we're needing 7, having a +3 is pretty safe. So let's do that. We just need to roll 1d6. Nope, always 2d6, isn't it? What am I saying? We rolled 5. +3 is 6, 7, 8. We are suspected. We do collect the treasure, but we gain 1 notoriety. So that could increase. We will take this gem off, put it back in there, and claim a token. So we've got another retain as an action. That might be confusing. There we go. When you gain a treasure token, place it in the collected treasure box. Oh. Unless it is an event. Oh, okay. Yeah, these are not. Retained treasure events are placed in the collected box, while those beginning with only an X are performed immediately. Okay, so that's fine. So we wagered and won, so actually I can put this back. I should have had it on the +3. Then actually let's attack, I think. We'll attack a ship here. So, attack. Initiate combat. Spend 1 action point for a bold or stalk attack. We are going to go for a stalk attack. We've got 2 options on this. Bold and stalk. Bold attack means you can continue to attack after killing 1. Stalk just means you get a +1 on your dice roll modifier for that 1 attack. So we are just going to do 1 attack. We don't really want to fight a lot. You must designate the target ship, the type of attack you will attempt, and perform the combat sequence. So, designate target 1 revealed ship. We're going to target this one. Placing the attack marker on it, showing its appropriate side, depending on what type of attack you're conducting. When targeting a hidden ship token, you must immediately replace it with a revealed ship token. So this hidden goes away. We've locked onto something, and we have found Ooh, not a whole bag. Let's lock these in place. We have found a freighter. We're going to try and take on this British freighter, the Fulmer. Okay. If that newly drawn ship token has a white, i.e. non-warship side, place it with that side showing. Yeah. Bold attack. After designating one hidden or revealed ship token in the ocean where the Nautilus is located by placing the red, you must immediately initiate combat. The Stalk cautious attack after designating one ship. You may immediately fight that ship, and if you fight, you gain +1 DRM. So we'd need a 9, but that's already reduced to an 8 because we chose Stalk Attack. He won't be attacking us because it's just a merchant ship, and it does only have 1 notoriety for us taking this out. So I think we will attack. So attacks, where did it list them? Combat, page 12. Not page 12. Oh, it's going to be bullet point 12, isn't it? It's like the GMT style rulebooks. Here we go. Bullet point 12. Combat. There are only 2 steps in the combat sequence. If the designated ship token is a warship, i.e. it has an attack, which I can show you on these ships. The attack is in the left corner, so Glasgow here, the Glasgow frigate, has an attack of 6. This frigate does not, or freighter even. And then the Nautilus attacks the designated ship token. So warships attacking the Nautilus. Nope. Step 2. Nautilus attacking other ships. Nautilus non-torpedo attack. Roll 2d6. Compare the modifier result to the ship's token. +1 for making this stalk, and +X for exerted ship resource. And we can only exert 1 resource. So we'll go with exerting the crew again. So we get +3 from the crew, +1 from the stalk attack. Means we need a 5 or better. Womp womp. So we lose that resource. If the natural result is Snake Eyes, which we did get, this is a disaster. The target ship token is unaffected regardless of DRMs. You gain 2 notoriety and lose 2 ship resources. Wow. Okay, so 2 notoriety and we lose 2 of our crew. Otherwise, dun dun dun. Okay, well that was not a great attack. So we lost 2 of our crew resource, leaving us very close to depletion here. Gained notoriety and wasted an action. Just makes me want to fight them again, but maybe we just leave that freighter alone. We've already taken the treasure out from here. What could we do? We could move a couple of sea zones. So we could move down and try an adventure for this treasure. It has 9 defense. It does. With a +4, it's still reasonable, but actually looking at these non-warship defenses, maybe 9 is amongst the strongest for a non-warship. So it might be a sea zone just to leave alone for now. We do not have the Suez Canal connected actually, so we could move 1, 2 to the South Atlantic, or just move slightly to the North Atlantic. I think we'll do that. We'll just move one sea zone. We're not even making use of the hydro drive, and then we'll try exploring again. We could try and rest. Does get us our crew back if all else fails. So maybe we could risk it. Let's go for it. If we expend only 1 resource, at least there's a good chance we can get it back. So we need to roll on the search. We want a 7 or greater with a +3. That'll do it. So we've got 14. We can collect 2 treasures. So let's just find the search. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain we'll just take this gem off and claim 2 more tokens. 1, 2. So these ones are just straight up victory points. Okay, so that wasn't bad after the disaster. So we've still got 2 action points left. We could try and attack another ship, or we could try and get some crew back now, but it would take 2 action points. So maybe we could incite. What is inciting? Actually, is it worth us inciting? I think it's worth 3 victory points for inciting a liberation. That's probably worth doing. Incite. Spend 1 action point if an uprising cube is available in their holding box. Perform an incite test. If an uprising cube... Oh. I keep forgetting the wheel mouse is my page turner here, and I keep trying to zoom with it. Spend 1 action point if an uprising cube is available in their holding box. Holding box. Unplaced uprising. Okay, so you're limited to 10, I presume, is what it's telling us. Unless you add more cubes to this box later. But we have one there, it looks like. If successful, place 1 cube in an empty land space connected to the ocean and reduce your notoriety as indicated. Interesting. Each revealed ship in the ocean contributes a penalty. Okay. So to incite, we would need a 9 to 11. We can exert any ship influence. We could spend a treasure token. So they're not likely to want to be incited. We'd need a 9. With a +3, it is still better than half, but 50-50 isn't great. We could spend a token, but then we're spending 3 victory points. Or we could spend 2 victory points, I suppose, in order to get 3. So that doesn't feel great. What else can we do for 1? Attack or search or just move for another treasure. Now it feels like we need to take something out. Even if it just gets us the strengthened prow, +1 to all attacks. That's really not bad. Or better armor so they deal less damage to us. We aren't going to be fighting warships. I think we're pretty much going to be avoiding them. So let's go for another attack. We'll go for another Stalk Attack on this token. So we reveal that straight away. And it's going to be a... this is Prussia, I think, isn't it? Prussian passenger ship, the Donau. I won't pretend to speak Prussian. The accent there was clearly not correct for how it should be pronounced, but if anyone does know what that stands for. Thunder. Isn't Donner and Blitzen, thunder and lightning? It's a different word, I know, but I'm going to call it the thunder. So we get a +1 and we will exert the crew again for a +4, so we need a 4 on the dice roll. A 7. Okay, this time we succeeded. Where was combat? Here's combat. So equal to or greater, that ship token is sunk. When you sink a ship, you immediately gain its notoriety value. Which actually for this one was none by the looks of it. If the ship grants a gain effect, you receive it immediately. Then you either send it straight to Davy Jones' locker as tonnage or forfeit its victory points and salvage it. If you sink a ship token outright for tonnage, you wish to remove it from play and garner its victory points. Place the tonnage ship token on the tonnage track in the leftmost vacant box for the major ocean where it sank. If it sank in a transition ocean, you may choose either major ocean. If all of that box is filled, stack additional tonnage tokens up in its 6th column. So it looks like these are worth points at the end if you sink enough ships. Otherwise, for salvage, salvaging a ship token you just sank ends your bold attack streak. That's interesting to know. It also prohibits you from scoring any wonder or science victory points for that ship at the end of the game. So this one just has the symbol for the non-warship. It's one non-warship which is worth 0 points. So we could add it to a column for the North Atlantic and start trying to collect towards these 8 points. But we'd have to sink 5 other ships just to get that 8 points. I will take it for salvage. And then, I believe once you have 4, you discard. That would be a refit action, I believe. Let's have a check. You can purchase 1 Nautilus card per refit action. Refit. Yep. Might cost us a treasure though. If you pass with an expensive result, yeah, discard a treasure token. This is in addition to the treasure token you may have spent to modify the die roll. If you're successful, discard the desired upgrades cost in salvage. Okay, so yeah, if we wanted the attack, it is 4 salvage. Donau is Danube. Okay. That makes sense. The wrecked Blue Danube. So we're going to need a lot more ships before we get this +1. But that was a successful attack. I think that was our final action point as well. We'll keep 1. We can carry 1 over to the next round. Just in case we get doubles. And then on a lull round, doing the adventure only costs us 1. Are you a good German speaker, or did you quickly chuck it into a Google Translate for me? Oh, we had the combat sequence here as well. Snake eyes. Okay. So, that was the round. We go back up to event phase, reveal the top card from the deck. A little bit worried that we've been going an hour and we've done 1 card. This is clearly going to be a long play. Broken up over a few sessions, I would imagine. So, this is the current. No, that's the current act. I don't know where we sit the card we're acting on at the moment. Some days ashore. Stepping ashore had an exhilarating effect on me. Ned Land tested the soil with his foot as if he were laying claim to it, yet it had been only 2 months since we had become, as Captain Nemo expressed it, passengers on the Nautilus. In other words, the literal prisoners of its commander. This is one that we keep. When the Nautilus is in any Pacific Ocean, you may fail this to gain 2 crew and 2 notoriety, or to place 1 uprising at the ocean. Or at the game's end, we instantly add this to the pass, the green P, we add it to this pile here, if unused, because it's worth 3 credit cards as far as it looks like to me. Those are worth 0 to us though. So this is probably something we're going to want to use so long as we can afford. Well, we could get 2 crew, which is exactly what we need to replenish, but we gain some notoriety, or we could just add one of these uprising cubes So that's very good. That's definitely points for us either way. I wonder if these cards down here are adding into our points. There was that lightning, that's science. Science discovered 3, it's telling me. There's 1, 2 that I can see. Yeah, I'm not sure where this scoreboard's counting everything from. But hey ho. So that is the adventure card. Then we go to the placement phase. We roll 2 dice, a 4 and a 1. So we add 2 ships, 1, 2. 1 into the Western Pacific and 1 into the South Atlantic. And we will gain ourselves 3 action points. I think I want to take this available treasure. Feels like that's definitely our thing. And then we could fight one of these ships. So 1 action, 1, 2 to move. Because of our hydro drive, we can move 2 spaces, 2 oceans. And we will look at this treasure, hopefully. We will expend the crew. We are in the Pacific. So we could forfeit this to gain 2 crew straight away. So we'll bear that in mind, but we're gonna risk our crew for this treasure. So we need a 7 or more with a +3. We've got a 9, that's okay, because I think that saves us notoriety. Yes. So we will get 1 treasure. Alright, this, I believe, just gets discarded and we gain 2 notoriety. So that is pretty bad. Is there going to be a reference for these? Probably not. Yeah, I think that's just a bad penalty. So we gain 2 notoriety. That's a shame. We need to be careful with our notoriety. If we work up too much of a reputation, we're going to get these extra battleships joining the ship drawing pool. And there's some quite strong ones in here. Just because as our reputation grows, the governments of the world are going to try and stop us. So with that said, let's try a Stalk Attack. 2 bits of salvage would be enough for the fog machine. And that just gets rid of 2 to 12 notoriety. If we did get high enough, we can just drop it down. That seems okay. Stalk Attack. We'll risk our crew again and the +1. So get rid of this ship. Actually, if we're drawing a battleship, we probably won't even... Oh, it's another 9. We were burnt on the last one. think I'd prefer to just not do the attack. If we can get enough salvage picking on small ships to get this +1, I'd feel a lot better about then going back for these 9 strength ships. So if we attack again, we could target this other hidden ship. We're doing a Stalk Attack. This is a battleship. So it's a Japanese ironclad, the Ryusho. It would attack us on a 7 and has a defense of 10, so we're definitely pulling out of that attack. And that will be our turn. The Western Pacific is pretty well guarded. We're going to leave that be. So, quicker turn. Adventure card. A frigate's demise. 2 enormous waterspouts crashed onto the deck of the frigate, racing like a torrent from stem to stern, toppling crewmen, breaking spare masts and yard arms from their lashings. Add the black background frigate to the Nautilus's current ocean and fight it immediately. This is a mandatory free Stalk Attack action. Okay, so we're getting yet another ship. Frigate. Black background frigate, so the Glasgow. Oh boy. So this is a mandatory free Stalk Attack action. Okay, so I don't pay an action for this. As a Stalk Attack, I could back out of it. But let's read the warship. What would they do? Warship attack. Roll 2d6 versus warship's attack value. If result is less than the attack value, we suffer a hit equal to the lower die value. So 1 to 5 he hits us. And then we would need to fight back with a 6 or more. I mean, I wasn't really even willing to take on this clipper, but maybe I'm seeing 9s as too dangerous, but really I should be seeing them as an easy target. Maybe I'm going to have to be a bit braver. Let's go for the attack. This is a learning game. So their attack first, 2d6. He wants low, so I would like to see some high numbers. A 7. A 7 misses. His attack value is 6. We will then wager our crew. So we need a 9 with a +3, so we're looking for 6 or better. We got an 8. Excellent. So we could take it as a warship. It's a red one, as you see here. But warships sunk are actually worth negative points. So this is going to be salvage. Well, actually, we had the +1 from the sneak attack as well, didn't we? So we had a +4, actually. Phew. Okay. So that is the adventure card done. Then we will roll 2d6 for placement. Rolled a 1 and a 2, so we will only get 1 action. We add a hidden ship to Ocean 1 and Ocean 2. So I think if we've got one action, we can go for an attack, because we can't search for anything here. We don't want to incite because there are 2 revealed ships. So we could either attack the unrevealed token and hope it's going to be something a little easier than a 9. Actually, you know what? I'm going to reshuffle up this bag, but I'm going to have a look at what actually ships are, because that would help. So we've got 7, 10, oof, 11s. Okay, so a 9. A 9's probably middle of the road, isn't it? There's some 7s in here, which would be nice if they came out. There's a good few 8s. But yeah, we need to stop worrying so much about the 9s. So let's attack one. We will use our action and wager our crew. So he is not attacking us. We have a +4. Now, 4 + 4 is 8. We need one more. We could use Ned land. Don't know what these numbers mean on them. 4. It's not one of these symbols. Oh, characters remaining. So he's worth 4 points if we have him left alive at the end of the game. And there might be an event by the looks of it that possibly you kill Ned. Is it worth it just to save our crew? Let's go for it. Let's just add the 1. I think this means we gain a notoriety. We pass the test and we take the ship. There's definitely going to be other worse fights that we could have got into, but we'll do it now. We'll burn all of our good resources. So actually sinking the Tate Singh actually gets us a additional notoriety. So that is our one action. We didn't roll much. Actually, we rolled exactly the same as where we placed the ships, didn't we? That's our turn. Easy, nice and quick. A new event. A pearl worth 10 million. There, between its leaf-like folds, I saw a loose pearl as big as a coconut. Its globular shape, perfect clarity, and wonderful orient made it a jewel of incalculable value. Carried away by curiosity, I stretched out my hand to take it, weigh it, fondle it. So this is something we can keep. And when in the Indian Ocean, for one action, you may test. We're needing a 10. We can gamble our crew. If we pass, we actually put this in the fail and gain 3 treasures. Or at the game's end, we just put this in the pass column as 1 credit card, 1 lightning. So the credit cards are worth nothing. The science discovery is worth 4 points at the end. Or we could gamble this to potentially get 3 treasures. Interesting. We are in the Indian Ocean, aren't we? No, we're in the Pacific. Yes, this one's Pacific, this is Indian. They are connected. This map's going to throw me off for a long time, I think. Who has America in the middle of the globe? That's just a crazy map. I'm teasing. So, let's see. That's a card we keep. We need to roll 2 dice for placement. That's what we need to do. A 4 and a 4. Okay, so this is a lull turn. We add 2 to zone 4. We can only add 1. So then... there is a flow, an overflow if you can't fit a ship. Placement phase is section 10. Oceans. Oh, lull turn. Place ships only using 2 or 3 white dice rolled. Place a treasure. Okay, did it have a treasure? It did, didn't it? Yeah, that's a shame. Doesn't get another one. Remove an uprising cube. Oof. So, place a hidden ship token, if any are available, in an adjacent ocean if any are available. So, we could go Cape Horn, Cape of Good Hope. Let's go this way. There's a bit more space over in this direction. So no additional treasure became available here. And because the difference between 4 and 4 is 0, we gain no additional action points, which is a shame. But now on a lull turn, adventuring only costs 1 action point rather than 2. So we'll take the adventure action from here. The Arabian Tunnel. There's a passageway. Yes, an underground passageway that I've named the Arabian Tunnel. It starts below Suez and leads to the Bay of Pelusium. So we can move the Nautilus directly between the Indian Ocean and the European Sea to pass, and then place the Arabian Tunnel. Excellent, so this is quite a nice card. Particularly with the hydro dam, for us to move, we could get down to the Indian Ocean, to the European Sea. Yeah. It says move the Nautilus directly between the Indian Ocean and the European Seas. I wonder if it has to be in that order, or whether you could go from the European Seas to the Indian Ocean to activate it. But in either case, we could do it 1-2 movement, which means we pass this card, which is worth 4 points. And then we've got this direct link here. Which is quite nice, if it will let me place it. Something like that anyway. Ah, the click point's too close. That'd be the tunnel. So we haven't done it yet, but that seems good as a free action. Okay, so that's our adventure. So now, do we get to take those gems? I believe so. Adventure. Draw the top card from the adventure deck along the right side of the game board. Yes, you may perform that card's activity and afterwards collect 1 treasure token for each treasure available gemstone on top of the adventure deck, returning these to the stock. Okay, so we take 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. So what did we get? We have keep or get rid of it to gain 1 Nemo. So this helps us recover our Nemo points. This is just worth a point, so that's probably something we'll throw away if ever we need to throw a cheap token away. This one we get rid of and draw 2 treasure tokens. 1, 2. Excellent, that was pretty good. So potentially, if we keep this one, that'd be 8, 10, 11 points from going into that location. Not quite sure how I'm going to stack everything up in here. These are removed. Okay. That is our only action, because it was a lull round, so we're going to go straight to another adventure card. The whales. Trying to crush the Nautilus with their sheer mass, through the windows you could see their enormous mouths paved with teeth, their fearsome eyes. So we can test crew and hull. If we pass, we could collect 2 treasure or gain 1 crew, and if we fail, we lose 2 hull. We only need a 9. I think a 9 if we add 5 to it. Only a snake eyes or a 3 fails, which again, it's only 3 in 36 possibilities. And that could get us a crew member back. Otherwise, we're going to lose 2 hull for failing, 1 hull and 1 crew for gambling, so we could lose 4 resources here. But getting 1 crew back is something I want to do. So we'll risk it. When has that ever gone against us? Okay, we got a 7. We did pass. So we get these gambled resources back. And we could get 2 treasure or we gain 1 crew. We've done okay for treasure tokens. But having crew means we can continue to pass more tests more easily because we've got the +3. So I think we'll take that. This goes into the pass section, although it's actually just worth nothing. Then we roll the dice to see where the ships come. 2 and 6. So 1 in the Eastern Pacific and 1 in the Indian Ocean. Okay, and we get 4 action points. So I'd like to start clearing out the Indian Ocean a little bit. We're up to 3 salvage. So 1 more ship sunk in the Indian Ocean, and we can upgrade our attack. Let's go 1 action to move here. We will search to take this gemstone, and we will gamble our crew. So we've got a +3 to the die roll. We get an 8, so that brings us up to 11. Ooh, so close. So we don't get 2 treasures, but we do collect 1. I'll take this off. And it's another 2 points. That should have been another one spent. And then, yes, we are going to do a stalk attack, sorry. So 1 more action. We will discard this ship and... oh, the Mary Celeste. Which is actually... oh, it's a wonder. So I don't want to put this ship as salvage because this is worth 7 points to us at the end of the game. If I collect it as a trophy. Well, I mean, we still have to sink it. So let's see, we've got +1 here. If we gamble the crew, that's +4. We only need a 3 on the dice. So we either get snake eyes and we fail no matter what, because you can never pass with snake eyes, or we succeed. We succeed. So the Mary Celeste in the Indian Ocean. We will add it here. I believe that is correct. Sunken ships is tonnage. Combat examples. Yeah, I think that's correct. That we score it. Actually, it's probably under salvage, isn't it? You forgo its victory points. So you can take it as salvage. It also prohibits you from scoring any wonder or science victory points for the ship at the end of the game. See Rule of 15. Yeah, so we'll have to just leave this one as a sunken ship, but that's okay. 7 victory points for that is pretty good. We have 1 action point left. And I think we will save it. Okay, so the first card took us about an hour to resolve, and now we're on to the 7th, so we're definitely speeding up. The Torres Straits. The Torres Straits are nearly 34 leagues wide, but they are obstructed by an innumerable quantity of islands, islets, breakers and rocks. The Nautilus, floating betwixt wind and water, went at a moderate pace, her screw like a Cetacean's tail. I'm not familiar with a cetacean. Beat the waves slowly. Her screw like a Cetacean's tail. I will have to admit, I have never read the novel, so that might be a reference to something in the actual Jules Verne novel itself. So this is one we keep immediately after moving between the Indian Ocean and the Western Pacific. This one says either way, so this must be Indian Ocean first. Okay, so Indian Ocean and Western Pacific. You may perform this test for 1 notoriety. If we pass, receive +2 action points for this turn only, even if this exceeds the normal 5. If you fail, you cannot save 1 action this turn. Okay. Well, I mean, that seems okay. So this is another one we keep, and this is just going to give us more action points. So let's roll for placement. So we only gain 1 action point, and Oceans 1 and 2 get ships again. 1 and 2. 2 is filling up. Okay. Tricky, tricky. I don't really want to move to the Atlantic. We are in the Indian Ocean. We could do this test. But a test of 10 is pretty high at the moment. I'm not sure if we'll get anything that will help us with that test later. But keeping it for its 4 victory points isn't the worst thing ever. I suppose we've got plenty of time to finally move between India and Europe if we did decide to move at this point. This one wants us to move back to Western Pacific where we've just come from. Whereas I want to try and get these treasures and kill some ships. But with only 2 action points this round, of which I probably only want to use 1, let's just try sinking another ship. That would get us our 4th salvage. And then we've got the strengthened prow. So we get +1 for Stalk Attack. Oh, we should reveal what it is. Ooh, okay. He is on a 10 and would give us 2 notoriety. So even if we wagered our crew, we're still looking at needing a 6. I'm trying to remember probabilities. It's probably maybe about a 60% chance. Because it's a weighted bell curve, isn't it? Actually, let's think about these. Oh, there should be a table for this. No, this is going to take me ages to actually write out here, isn't it? I'm not that bothered. Can't get rid of it. It's probably about 60%. Do I want to risk our crew or waste an action? That's the problem. We'll wait. It's 2 notoriety. Which gets us closer to this as well. So I think we're just going to end up just wasting our action, which is unfortunate. And we go back round to an adventure card. Act 2. Okay, so we've made it to the first intermission. I was admiring the magnificent aspect of the ocean when Captain Nemo appeared. He did not seem to be aware of my presence and began a series of astronomical observations. Then, when he had finished, he went and leant on the cage of the watchlight and gazed abstractedly on the ocean. So add the dark yellow reinforcement ship group to the ship draw pool and continue play with the next card. Roll 2 white dice and 1 black die to begin each placement phase. So we have nine, 10, 10, 11. Okay. Put them in. Hopefully it shuffles them. So we move on to the next adventure card. The Earth wants not new continents, but new men. May the contemplations of so many wonders extinguish forever the spirit of vengeance. May the judge disappear and the philosopher continue the peaceful exploration of the sea. So this says, pass and you may reset the Nemo ship resource marker to its determined space if you desire. Just here. We haven't gone that far. Oh, here's some resources. This is what it's counting. The fact that our ship is in good condition. Okay. But if we fail this, we're going to lose a Nemo anyway. And gain 2 notoriety. Nemo counts as a wonder. He counts as 2 wonders. We really want to keep him high. If we wager the Nemo resource and we fail, we lose 1 for the wager and then we suffer the consequence, which is another 1 lost. And we gain 2 notoriety. So I want to gamble in a sense because then we only need a 7 or better and we pass. Which makes it less likely we'll lose anything, but more likely we lose double. But if we pass, this is a wonder resource of itself. I think it's a gamble worth taking. It might even be a gamble worth risking the professor on. No, because we'd give up 5 character points, 4 points from science, so 9 points to gain. Well, we'll see. We get a +2. Let's have a look, see what we get. We rolled an 8. It doesn't matter. We passed anyway. We got a 10. We could reset to the determined space. Whoop, whoop, but we won't. So this just goes in the pass, and this icon at the top, as a wonder, is 7 points. That's really good. So now we have to roll 3 dice, 2 white and a black. How do I do that? Do I just also roll 1 black one manually? I presume I do. Just use this as the white dice. But let's go to the Act 2 portion of the earlier setup pages. Placement phase. Begin the placement phase by rolling the dice indicated on the current act card. This will always include 2 white dice, but added to them might be a black die, and the 3rd white die, plus an additional black die if notoriety is 44 or higher. After rolling all the dice indicated for that act's turn, notice the result for the 2 white dice first. Okay, so we still use the white dice. 1 and 5. Okay, perfect. We get 4 action points and a new ship on 1 and a ship on 5 back in the European seas. Okay, and then and also a ship placement for the black die. Okay. So another in 1. 1 is definitely suffered with a lot of ships. So we could have it overflow down here and try and deal with it where we currently are. Could be worthwhile. What was the one? We can gain lots of action points if we go back to the Western Pacific from where we are, which is probably worthwhile. So there's just going to be even more ships. We need to keep fighting them. Wow, yeah, because 3 come out every turn. And if all the oceans are full, then we lose. So we really need to start just killing everybody, which wasn't something as the explorer I was particularly expecting to have to do. 22 cards left in this deck, but we're going to have to attack. But if we want one more bit of salvage in order to get the strengthened prow for that +1 attack, we'll have to end any strong attack after taking the salvage anyway. So I think our first action point, we will just do a Stalk Attack here. Let's see what we get. It's one of the yellow ships, because I do not think this is shuffled. No, it has not. How do I shuffle you? Shuffle. No, not search. Literally just clicked search, and I shuffle. There we go. The Cutty Sark. That's a ship I'm familiar with. So we get +1. We will gamble the crew for another +3. So we have +4. We just need 5 or higher. Success. So we gain 1 notoriety. And we have enough salvage to increase our weapon strength. Excellent. So refit. Refit is 2 actions unless we play it on a lull turn. But I think it's worthwhile. We will continue to gamble the ship crew. And we need 7 or more, so we need a 4. We've got 10, so we've got actually 13, so we can upgrade for 1 fewer salvage. That's a nice result. So it only costs 3. And we take the +1 attack. Excellent. So do we attack another ship here? You're off, chalk. Yes, day 25 of our streak tomorrow. I think we're doing Christmas tree shopping tomorrow. So I'm not exactly sure when I might get on. Might be an early stream before we go out while the missus is getting ready. But if I don't catch you then, hopefully I will see you for Mage Night Monday. But either way, have a great day and take care of yourself, man. As always, wonderful to have you here. Bye for now. I'll contemplate. Do we risk a strong attack? We could bold attack here. into the chance. We get a +1 on our attacks now. Makes up for not... Oh, I suppose I should reveal a new upgrade. Let's just check that out. Upgrade. Refit. Wow, steam torpedoes sound good. Do I reveal a new card? I think so. I'm pretty certain we reveal a new one. Electro-powered crew armor. You may use this card once during each bold attack action for a +1 DRM after a dice roll, or remove this card for a +2. Interesting. So if we got this as well, that seems useful. Our oceans are filling up. I feel we should risk a bold attack. So we'll do it here. Let's see what we draw. We have to attack it though. It is a general grant. Actually, saying that, if we're going for salvage, there's literally no point doing... Oh well. General grant. You are being bold attacked. So we've got +3 from crew. We're going to continue risking until it decreases, basically. +1 here. So we've got +4. So we need a 4 or greater. Success. So we will continue to sink that. Gain 1 notoriety. And then let's just check on the bold attack, because I've not done it before. If you succeed and sink the ship, you may immediately conduct another bold attack in the ocean for 0 action points and +1 notoriety. Okay, let's go for it. So we're attacking here with a +4. We failed. We lose the crew. That's a shame. Okay, we could spend 1 more action point to fight there again, but I think we'll come to the Western Pacific. So that is Indian Ocean to Western Pacific. Yes. Perform this test for +1 notoriety. Done. It's a 7 and we're risking hull. We will get a +2, so we need a 5 or more. Yes. Pass. Receive 2 action points this turn. So up to 3. We will then do a bold attack here on this hidden ship. Ah, bad news. It is Ferdinand Max. Looks like a Spanish ship. That's quite an old Spanish flag. Is that the two crowns? I want to say Castile and Aragon. The one on the right looks like it could be the shield for Aragon. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But he is going to attack us, and we want a high number. We got a 9, so fortunately he did miss. We're gambling our crew on the attack, so we get a +4. So we need a 6 on our attack. Success. Western Pacific. Unfortunately, this ship, when sunk, does lose us points, but we gain 1 notoriety and we're going to continue fighting. It's actually worth -2 points. I will reveal this hidden ship. Giuseppe Garibaldi. I've literally got an empty pack of Garibaldi biscuits next to me. Hopefully that is a good sign. So he's attacking on a 6. He misses. We've got a +3 from our crew, +1 for our weapon. So we need a 5. We have succeeded. Okay, this is going well. There's no notoriety and no lost points on this one. Let's try for a 3rd ship. Oof, warships galore. This is an armoured frigate. So he is attacking on a 6. He does hit us. So it's 2 damage on location... Oh, location 2 that was. So that's the crew. So they'll drop 1, 2 levels. Ouch. So we cannot... We're not in Pacific Ocean, are we? Well, we are in the Pacific Ocean, but we're midway through an attack. So we've dropped to just +3 either way we look at it. So we can either get +2 from the crew, +2 from Nemo, or +2 from Hull. I think we'll risk the Hull. So there might be an event that gives us a bonus back to our Hull or Nemo. So we get +2 from the hull, +1 from our prow. So we need a 7 now. So this is, yeah, a bit risky. Just a 4. So we lose our hull. That's a shame. But we took a few of them out. I don't think I spent our action point. So we can fail this to gain 2 crew. And I think that's what we'll do. And then these are pretty strong. I'm not sure I want to take either of them on. So we'll move 1, 2 into the Eastern Pacific. Then hopefully we can try a bold attack here next turn. We could risk the console to flip, but I think, considering we were only risking our hull, I think I'm okay with that. So that was another action. Adventure. The Korea incident. Captain Nemo glowered at Ned for his remarks in favour of Americans and growled, "Even now, Mr. Land, the Americans desire to force open trade with the reclusive Koreans, and just as they did in Japan 15 years ago, the Americans are sending a war fleet to articulate their interests." So we can keep this, and when the Nautilus is in the Western Pacific, you may intervene on Korea's behalf. We do a test of 11. And place up to 1d3 uprising cubes in any Pacific Ocean locations. Wow. If we fail, we lose 2 hull or gain 4 notoriety. But that's pretty good. That's probably something I want to do fairly late in the game. Because if we roll another lull, notoriety cubes will get removed. But they're worth 3 each. Could be good. So we roll 2 white dice. Oof, we're only gaining 1 action point. And oceans 2, 3, and 3 are getting ships. 2, 3, 3. So 2 is full. We can overflow this way. 3 and 3. So with our action point, I think we will do the treasure. The search action, let's just risk the hull again. So it's only +2 to the die roll. We need a 5. Got a 2. Oof, so we've only rolled 4. Lose 1 crew or 1 hull. Interesting. So we're going to lose a hull and another hull. Or is this a test worth re-rolling? In order to save 2 hull? We only need a 5. It's not a bad re-roll. But equally, losing some hull isn't the worst. We've got a couple of flip to gain an action. Let's do it. Let's re-roll. Let's see what we get. I got a 7 plus 2 is a 9. We just collect the treasure. So we can not take the hull damage and we don't lose the 1 that we wagered. So we've gained 2 points. Now, I think I'm going to spend one of these to gain an action. And we will just go for a Stalk Attack. So we will get rid of 1 hidden token. We have the Thermopylae, a mail ship. Okay. Gender's irrelevant, we're going to sink it. Anyway, moving swiftly along. I'm glad there's not many of you watching right now. We will rolling with a +4. Yes, sunk. The reason I only want to do a Stalk Attack, I want to collect for this extra armor. +1 on a bold attack is pretty useful. We can choose to do it afterwards as well. So if we pass the first one and then fail the second one by 1, we can just add that little bit extra. Okay. So that's our actions done. Onto an adventure card. Troubled Dreams. I tried to keep my eyes open, but they closed in spite of me. I was in the grip of anguished hallucinations. So pass, we can keep this card. And pass to change any one's die result only even when change any one die's result even when rolling 2d6 to any other result that you choose. Okay. So we get to keep the card and it's basically a free change die result. That's really good. We're going to gamble Nemo on it. So we need a 6. Well, I guess we failed, but is 2 DRM after roll better or worse than just changing a die result? I think I'm going to flip him, so we pass. We gain a notoriety. Oh, and probably I didn't do the tomb notoriety there. So 1, 2, 3. We're extremely close to this. Actually, the fog machine might be getting bought next round. But we get to keep this. We could even do it, I guess, on the roll here. If we roll a 1 and a 6 to get lots of action points. Okay, let's roll the die. A 3 and a 4. And another ship in 6. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 6. And we gain 1 action point. So it would be 2 actions to refit and potentially lower our notoriety. We're getting very close to adding these extra ships in though. I think we might have to do that and get the fog machine. No, I'm gonna risk the notoriety. I mean, a 12 is horrific. Now we'll spend our action points. We're going to hopefully spend 2 salvage for the fog machine. So we need to roll refit. Any 1 ship resource, we'll use our crew for this. So we get a +3. See what we get. We get 13, excellent. So we can do it with 1 fewer salvage. So actually it only costs us 1 salvage for the fog machine. We can't use it this round, but we have it. We have no action points left though. Do I actually want to just get... No, I don't want to get an action point. If we do get a lull round, we can get 1 action point if we want, then and there. So, Captain Nemo's diaries. For my part, I did not wish to bury with me my curious and novel studies. I had now the power to write the true book of the sea, and this book, sooner or later, I wished to see daylight. After passing the finale card in the pass or fail pile, test Okay, so we can't use anything. It's just a straight up extra roll, and we either gain a Nemo or lose a Nemo. Interesting. Potential extra little bit of sanity if he can get his diaries published at the end. So we roll the dice. Oh, come on, a 2 and a 3. So we're only going to get 1 action point. And 1, 2, and 3 get oceans. 1, 2, and 3 get oceans? 1, 2, and 3 get hidden ships. So we're filling up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zones left. We're going to have to do a bold attack. We're getting 1 action point. Or we change the 3 to a 6 and we get 4 action points. Let's go for a bold attack. Bold attack here. We have the Bellicuse. So it's going to attack us on a 7 first of all. No, it misses. We've got +4. So we need a 6. We succeed. Okay. Eastern Pacific. Sunk 1. Excellent. We get 1 notoriety. Oh, what we should have done first. Doing this for 1 action to use the fog machine. Destroy this card to decrease your notoriety by 2d6. And what was the other upgrade? Periscope. Ooh, very good. Consecutive stalk attacks to keep the +1 would be fantastic. And we'll roll 2d6 to lower. We lose 9. Excellent. 16 down to 7. So I did that really before we did this first bold attack, because we know we want to sink a lot of stuff, and I didn't want to add all these extra warships into the design. So moving on, we gain 1 notoriety for the second bold attack. We have the Lord Clyde. So he will again attack with a 7. Oh, just missed. And we're attacking with a 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. Excellent. We can sink it. Okay. Next one. 1 more notoriety. So we have to sink 3 every round, or the oceans are filling up. So we have to keep going. Oh, I didn't look. That also has a notoriety. This one. If we claim it as treasure, it's +1 Nemo. But we don't need that. So we're attacking it with +4. 5 is 9. Excellent. Let's claim it, I guess. We get 1 notoriety and 1 for an additional bold attack. We will attack this one. And if we sink it, we'll take the salvage. Actually, no, because I don't mind that one. Not claiming the benefit. We'll leave 1 here and cut our losses. That was pretty good. sank 2 ships in this sea zone, which could get us 12 points. We are losing 246 from Ironclads. Let's just update things. Our score was 78 a good few turns ago. We're at 95. So we're still in that terrible loss category. But if we can get Periscope and Monstrous Design, really I just need everything. Four, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards with 19 left in here. So we're probably about halfway through and we've taken 2 hours, but most of that was just the very first action round, wasn't it? But I think I'm going to wrap this video up here for now. And hopefully we'll get a few views on it. We'll come back to it probably next week sometime, maybe next Sunday. Next Saturday, a week today. And if you're interested in following us along, then you can do live in Twitch. But you can give me some feedback as well if I have played some of those rules wrong, or if you've got some suggestions as to how I could be doing this better, because we've sat ourselves on the sailor mode, the novice mode, and even now I'm thinking I'm very close to failing, because these ships are filling up rapidly. Always losing one action to have to sink at least 3 ships is pretty tricky, but maybe I should have been more aggressive to start with. We did waste a few actions when I dithered over whether a strength 9 freighter was worth engaging with. Maybe I should have just always been bold with those, but it's definitely been good fun. I think I'm still not sure about this action point based on the die roll. Maybe it's just observer bias. Like for me, it feels like I've rolled one action point a lot, and I know it should be 28% of the time. I think it's been, but then we've only had one lull turn, haven't we? In what did we say we'd had? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turns. So we're due a second. Should have had 3 one-action turns. I think we've maybe had 4. Feels like we've had 5. So maybe we're not too far off where we should have been for action points, and we just wasted a few too many. But yeah, let me know how you think we're getting on. 95 points at this stage in the game. It feels like we should try to sink some Atlantic and European ships. North Atlantic, South Atlantic, Europe are pretty full, so that is definitely going to be our target anyway. Yeah, get some points for being a nuisance at least. Okay, but yes, let's wrap this up here and hopefully catch you guys very soon for another stream. Bye for now.